Welcome to this week's edition of the Heat Flash. I'm Max Stevens. We're joined by Harrisburg Keeper Doug Petras. And Doug, thanks for coming on the Heat Flash today.
Sure, appreciate it.
Doug, what's it like to be back with the Harrisburg Heat, first of all?
It's neat, it keeps you young again, so to speak. I think we all have a competitive streak in us, so it's fun. It really kind of brings you back a little bit, and hopefully we can get things figured out here and become even, more enjoyable.
What made you come back?
Well, I think last year even, I came out just for some exercise and ran around a little bit and kind of had that itch, hey, can you do this type thing, and had some conversations with Gino. This year, it was kind of the same thing. It was, hey, what are you doing tonight? And go for a run, so to speak, and play. And one thing led to another, and things kind of worked out from a broader perspective, too.
How much of the fact that, ownership was in place and the credibility ownership had John Wilsbach, and how much of that made you want to be a part of this?
Well, that's very important. Obviously, I know Tariq, I know Gino, they're former teammates and former opponents. Obviously, I've known John for 20 years. And ultimately, the bottom line is you want to see this franchise succeed. And you hope that, everybody hopes that in each different aspect that they bring to the table, that they can help that happen. And that's the biggest thing for me. You want to see something succeed that you've been a part of in the past.
How are you feeling physically?
Good. The schedule kind of works out. It'd be a lot different, obviously, if it was an everyday thing with our practices and stuff, the way they're set up, the times. Obviously, a lot of the guys have employment, and like I said, the schedule kind of works out, and the fact that it isn't every day or 3 games in a weekend, that sort of thing, made it somewhat doable.
We talked to a couple of players and Coach Walker, and he said it's like you're having an extra coach out there, and he's counting on you to kind of help mold some of the young D-men out there. Is that a role you're pretty comfortable with, and how's that been going so far?
Yeah, I don't look at it as a role of a coach, more of a organizer. The position that I play is, that's part of the responsibility is organizing the people in front of you. Sometimes it's trying to be the eyes in the back of their head. Sometimes it's information dissemination. So that's more the role, I think, of the position itself. And then, like I said, when you have a little bit of experience, even albeit a while ago, the things kind of come back to you, and you see the same type of flow of play, and you're able to pass that on at least, or pass ideas on, more so than coaching. So not using that word.
Sure. And he also said one thing he appreciates about having you back there is he feels like having a veteran presence like you and just your style of play, period, you get the offense started really quickly, and you lend yourself, your style of play lends itself a lot to what he wants to do offensively and getting the offense started. Yeah,
a little bit. Obviously we're still kind of figuring it out. Today was a success on the attacking end. We kind of turned it to the corner, if you will. If we can now turn the corner on the other end of the field, I think we're going to be right in the mix. It's just a matter of turning that corner very soon versus a little bit later in the course of the season.
Sure. Obviously, the start has not been what you guys had hoped it would be. Talk to the fans a little bit. Let them know what you guys are feeling inside that room. What's the mood in there right now, and how determined are you guys to turn this around?
Well, every player has that type A personality, or they wouldn't be where they're at now. Throughout their individual careers or lifetime in the sport. And every time we go out, our guys are putting everything they have on the line. You can see there's no quit. Some things, bad bounces, I think we probably lead the league in bad bounces, quite frankly. But the guys in that room, the guys that are in practice, every week, there's a huge competitive streak, and there's a huge want to win every time we go out. Right now, it just isn't falling our way, but I truly believe the law of averages, that's going to even out, and you're going to see even a more competitive team.
What's changed most about the game since you last played?
I think the game itself is more of a skill game through at least the games that I've seen. What I mean by that is back in the good old days, if you will, it was more of an up and down, run and shoot type of thing. Now I think it's more of a skill game, more of a tactical game, getting yourself in positions that are advantageous to move the ball and create chances at goal. And that's the biggest thing, At times the game goes back to that old style, if you will, where it's kind of run and gun. But for the most part, it's more of a keep possession of the ball, more of a create opportunities through that possession of the game.
What's it been like working with such a young team? And has Coach talked to you all about being a veteran presence and a kind of like an elder statesman on such a young team?
Well, yeah, I mean, that kind of goes with the territory. Regardless if it's myself or Craig or Val, whoever has guys that have a lot of experience, we try to pass that on and just say, hey, look, there's more. The old adage, there's more than one way to skin a cat, so to speak, and that gets passed on all the time. As a younger, we have a lot of younger inexperienced players, but you're starting to see that maturation already. I believe, at least I see it, over about the month or so time. If it keeps going in that direction, I think we'll be just fine.
I know a lot has changed for you personally since you last stepped on a soccer field in the indoor game. What's it like being able to have your kids come out and watch you play?
Oh, it's neat. It's neat. They kind of give me the business a little bit. I guess they kind of return the favor. They're both youth hockey players and they're very competitive. So sometimes when things aren't going well for them, we kind of they're good kids. They have a good streak in them that they can take it and they know what they need to do to improve. So the shoe's kind of on the other foot now. Sometimes, and I think they probably enjoy kind of sticking the fist in the ribs sometimes. So.
And would you mind telling us their names and their ages?
Yeah, Jacob's the oldest one. He's 15. He's a sophomore in high school, and Evan's 11, fifth grader. So, like I said, they're both ice hockey players. So, same type of concept as this game, but they different surface that they play on.
Lastly, Doug, is there anything you'd like to share with the fans? Any message you have for the fans at all regarding your comeback or this team or anything?
I think the biggest thing is to be patient. I know it's difficult when results aren't going the direction we want it to go. But again, I think if you look beyond the final scores of some games, I think you're starting to see that maturation process of the group. And I truly believe if we stick with it, meaning the players, the coaches, the fans, the ownership, I think you're starting to see the tide start to turn, especially after today with the chances we created. That's the biggest thing that we can ask is folks stick with us and we'll give them everything that we have.
Doug, thank you very much for joining us on the Heat Flash.
My pleasure, appreciate it.
That's all we have for this edition of the Heat Flash. Stay tuned for more from the Harrisburg Heat.